Hello readers, I'm Amy. I've been gone for a little bit, but we're back this year for 2023, so my plan is to definitely upload a little more. So if you did not see my last kind of update post, community post thing for YouTube, my mom was sick for all of 2022 and has unfortunately passed. So that is why I wasn't really uploading all that much in the last year. It's just been a lot emotionally. I'm doing about as well as one can at this point. I'm recording this around the holidays, so that's been really hard. So I thought that I would just do this light, fun video and talk about some lousy book covers and have a little bit of fun, maybe cheer me up. So I've done this video once before. I had a lot of fun with it, and we are looking at lousybookcovers.com, which is a fantastic website. You've got this like screaming goat picture. So for the first book, we have Skinners. There's not really a list of what these books are about. I don't hate the font. Like, the font is passable. The picture, it feels racist to me. I don't know where this book takes place. Apparently it takes place a couple centuries ago because he's fighting the guy with a sword. I'm not sure why there's a person watching. The artwork itself isn't terrible. Like, the redhead, you've got his hair kind of moving with the direction in which he's falling, but it's a no. It's a no from me. It's kind of blurry, and there's bad Photoshop styles that are fun, right? Whenever you have a bunch of different colors and textures, and you can kind of copy and paste into this collage and make it look cool. So you could do something more like that. But this one, the textures, you've got like the flat texture and the blurry texture, and then the really sharp font. And with the blurriness of it, of the like colored pencil style, it's just really not working. I think you could probably, I think I would make the author name match the font of the title name. I think that would help make it work a little better. Maybe put in a border. If you don't want to go collage style, you could do more of like a literary genre style of book cover, which is more general. It might have like shapes of vines and leaves, or like the texture of a beach or something. So not all book covers have to tell you exactly what the book's about, and this is an example of that. To covet, before I move on, there are tags for these that I didn't know about beforehand, and the tags for Skinners is art for a refrigerator, which if a kid did this, I guess I'd put it on my fridge. I would probably not want naked people on my fridge. Bringing sexy back is the other tag, so that's fun. Then we have To Covet a Countess. This is the second book in a series. This isn't awful. Like, this seems to me like a pretty standard romance book cover. There is a comment down below about her dislocated shoulder. You can do this position, but like you're gonna be cramping up a lot. So I understand trying to make the man and the woman be on like the same level, but I do think you should move the man like slightly further back. Also, I would adjust the hands on her waist, because with their hands placed together the way that they are, it looks like she has 10 fingers. So that's a little funky, but you've got consistent coloring. The colors all really work together, so not bad at all. I'd give it like a B-. Skinners is an F. That's definitely an F. Then we have Veronica Merlin's Casanor. The font, first off, is a problem. With these colors and this style of font, you just can't read it very well on this cover. It needs to be larger, it needs to pop a little more. I think it needs to be in a different style, because the background to me is very linear, and then you have this font that is way more of like a handwritten Sharpie kind of style. It doesn't really work together. I'm not sure why this tower has hearts on the top of it. That's what it looks like. If it's supposed to be a structural thing, I would structure that a little bit differently. I don't mind that it's red because that does point out the font a little more, but I feel like red isn't quite the color to go with here. And this is another thing where you've got the copy and paste style, which isn't terrible. The shadows need to go with the style of the background rather than being this super clear lines. It needs to be a little fuzzier, a little bit more like a drawing like the background, and less like the clear cut of the people who are on it. They also need to be larger. The people seem really far away, and the font for the title is just a little bit closer, so bring all of that forward. You want the attention to be on those people. Like, you don't want to just dead center your eye right into the tiny middle of this whole scene. Like, bring it forward a little bit. Don't make us work so much for your book cover. The elements are there, it just needs some work. C average, maybe C minus. Then we have Triggered in the Tropics. That's an F. That's an F. It's certainly a curvy girl romance because these people have some curves. I'm not sure why her calves and her shins are so much larger than her thighs. It's shapeless. I'm sorry. It's not good art. It's just not. I think this author wanted to do the vector style of a lot of modern romances, but they hand drew it instead, and it just did not work. I'm not sure what these shapes in the background are supposed to be. Is that supposed to be like a building or something? You need like a landscape line, like a horizon line. Maybe some more trees. Completely different art style. Like, pay for Adobe stock and get something there, or pay someone to do artwork for you. This is not it. I'm concerned about her boobs. This one with the line going straight through it, I'm concerned. I have questions. I don't understand. Also, you're allowed to make drafts of your artwork. Like, there is such thing as a first draft, second draft, third draft. Like, this could be a super rough concept draft, but then you need to dress it up a lot more. The oval around Curvy Girl Romance, I would just make that a circle, and really I would just make that like the subtitle, because this looks like a book cover sticker, and all of us in the bookish community, we have feelings on book cover stickers. That's a no. The title doesn't pop enough. The lines, they clearly have a stroke around each of the words in the title, and it makes it look really fuzzy because of the colors that they've used. You can barely read previously titled Triggered on Vacation, revised edition. We don't need to know the previous title. We don't need to know that it's revised. It needs to be so much sharper. I don't mind the idea of the palm tree leaf interacting with the font, but I would have it like go in front of the T and then behind the H sort of thing. Make it interact a little more. And again, just sharpen it up, bring it forward a little more, change the art. It's just not good. This one is also tagged art for a refrigerator. I mean, I guess I'd rather have this art on my refrigerator than the Skinner's art, because it would just make a little more sense to me. Then we have Rust Never Sleeps, a collection of short stories. I don't hate this. Like, the title and the photo don't really go together, but when I think of Rust as a color, I think of something old-timey. I think like you could go like old wood, Western sort of style, which the picture really kind of conveys with this really plain. The colors I would rework. The red and the blue can kind of be hard on the eyes when they're together like this. With the font, I'm guessing that this is supposed to be creepy. The font's kind of basic for a horror book, but it's not awful. But especially with a collection of short stories, that needs to pop more from the cover. What I would do is, in Adobe, you can take the eyedropper tool and click on like the mountains in the background, the darker blue, and use that color. And I would use that color for the whole cover so that the color of the cover and the color of the photo meld a little bit better and mix a little bit better. And then change the color of the font, and really, I think you would be fine. I almost want to say Photoshop out sea level, because I don't know that it really makes sense here, but also it's kind of funny and could maybe add to the horror of whatever's in the story. I do like B+. Like, it's easily fixable, easily workable. We can get through it fine. Next page, we have Chrysalis Nightmare. I don't hate it. It's got interesting line work, it's got bright colors, it's got action and direction. I would fix like this triangle around the eagle's head. I think that paw needs to be moved back and up a little more, because if the paw is going on the head, like, it's still gonna have some continuation. It's not gonna go in so deep that the feathers are gonna stick up quite like that. So bring up the paw a little bit more. But the artwork's not bad, as long as it, like, I don't think the eagle's head is quite supposed to be getting cut off yet. But the artwork's not bad. I enjoy the line work and the style. The font, again, needs work. It's difficult to do a font on a cover like this that is so busy. Maybe have the tail interact with the title a little more and make the green a background. But really, I think this would be a pretty easy fix if you just use a bolder font, like a really bold white font could help it stick out a lot more. And then it wouldn't be too bad. B+, A- area-ish. This isn't terrible. Small Town Saboteurs, a Garden Girl's cozy mystery novel. This is a lot. There's a lot going on here. The golden years on this banner needs to be larger so that, like, you can see it's closer to the bottom of the banner than the top of the banner. Make it larger. Do a different font. It's not super readable. It's not super friendly to the eyes. Generally, the rule with fonts, so you've got the Golden Years, Garden Girls, Small Town Saboteurs, Hope Callaghan. I'm not sure if that's a different font than the one on the top, but generally you want to stick to about 2 fonts in a document or on a cover. Don't do more than 2. Usually you want to stick to 1. You can play around with 2 if they work together. So this is too much going on font-wise. Looks like it's supposed to be some sort of middle of the summer, like July 4th parade. The fireworks are a bit too much. I would have more, make it like a natural firework. Like, you have the black space on the bottom and then the firework coming up from the top to emphasize the golden years, because even on that bright gold banner, the golden years doesn't necessarily stand out because you have so much going on with the fireworks. Fire trucks, not awful. Generally speaking, I'm not a huge fan of photos on covers, so I would maybe do more of a vector art style for this, but it's at least an interesting angle, I'll give you that. The other thing is, I'm thinking between the Golden Years and the Garden Girls and Small Town Saboteurs, there's too many titles here. Like, what is the title of this book? Small Town Saboteurs, a Garden Girls cozy mystery novel. So just have Garden Girls cozy mystery novel in smaller font along the bottom under Small Town Saboteurs. Skip the Golden Years because it's too much. I wouldn't do the magnifying glass with the older lady in it. That's just really old-fashioned. It's not really the style that people are going for nowadays. If you want to do the magnifying glass, maybe like make the O in Hope into a magnifying glass. And I guess And maybe go for the Garden Girls font because it is a cozy mystery, so that could be a little more cozy rather than the stark, straight lines of small town saboteurs. So maybe go with that, but just have that underneath small town saboteurs. Don't give us so many titles and then match the author title to the Garden Girls title. It's just too much. This book cover is a mood board for a book cover. It's an idea for a book cover. It's not so much an actual book cover. Mad Cows and Englishmen at Large in Galicia? No. Just no. The style of the person does not match the style of the dog, which doesn't match the style of the cow, which doesn't match the style of the background. Again, there are times that you can use collage and bad Photoshop and make it into a cool style, but this is not it. These fonts are directly pulled from Word, very clearly. No one uses these fonts anymore. The strokes and the gradient together are a lot, and then you have a completely different style for At Large in Galicia, and then completely different colors for the author. And I don't even know what it's about. There is no saving this cover. This is an F. This might even be worse than the Skinner's cover because at least that one kind of tells a story. I don't know what's going on here. And I'm not sure if this person has ears or if those are supposed to be headphones. Just no. Last one we're gonna do here, Called to Purpose. Right away, this title makes me think that it's like a Christian novel, and then the artwork makes me think that it's a children's book. So if it's neither of those things, you did wrong on this. The blurry background isn't awful. This is a case in which the blur on the background would actually work, but then the people or the person in the dollar bill are also really fuzzy. It looks like the dollar bill is wearing a tree. I'm not sure why it has a face. Why are they popping out of the sides of the cover instead of actually being the feature of the cover? And why is the title in quotation marks? I don't love the font. I guess it would make sense if this ends up that it is like a children's book or something, but I don't know. I like the colors. I'll give them the colors of the sky. The sky in the background is beautiful. Maybe just make that the cover. Blow up the sky, make that the cover, do a different font. The author name and the illustrated by name should be larger. I don't know. I don't know how to save this one. Tell me what it's about and I can give you some pointers. That's gonna be it from this video. So I hope you enjoyed it. I feel a little bit better. I don't know about you, but I'm feeling slightly less lousy today. Joke was totally on purpose. Please like, subscribe, be my friend on social media, and I will definitely see you all in my next video. Bye, friends.